What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are doing a live stream leftovers video. This is a video where I complete analysis on coins that were requests during the previous live stream that we had within like a day or so normally, and I just complete the analysis on those coins that we were unable to get to because time ran out, because I had to go to bed. So let's do them now. I've got 5 coins: Digibyte, Mana, Chainlink, XLM, and VAIOT on this roster today. So let's get going. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And Digibyte, so far, I've had a few people ask me if I still think that the dollar or $3 or in that range price targets are still on the table. And I have started to shift that a little bit, going up to this or higher, right? Anything above there, seeing new lows, right? Like most things, they found their lows, their bear cycle lows back here, and this thing's still finding new lows. And there's plenty of charts that look like this that I still think will see new all-time highs. I don't think that it's crazy to assume that Digibyte could see new all-time highs. Perhaps it does go to 47 cents. It's at 0.7 of a cent right now, and it could go to 46.8 cents, 46.9 cents. It really could. I just don't think it's going to go to $1.50 or higher. Maybe at the highest 77 cents, but even then, that's something to be desired at this moment. To be fair, you do have higher lows, right, and higher highs, technically. This thing does like to move fast whenever it moves, right? If we saw a move like this in the amount of time that it took from a low to a high point here, I'm just curious. I mean, that would put us all the way out into October of next year, which that's the end of the cycle in my assumption. Like that's where I think the cycle is going to end. So how long the cycle will last. So this exact move in that exact same amount of time, 47 cents is absolutely possible. It can happen, but you'd have to start moving like now, like really right now, right? And again, this one started off with this month, so it's kind of similar. It can happen. It can move up in a very short amount of time, but right now the goal for Digibyte, I suppose, is to at least get above its 618, right, at about 5 cents there, just below 5 cents. And before you even do that, you got to get over this little peak, this little nipple here. And I think once you do that, once you get above this, I really do think you'll see fireworks take off, or maybe you'll crawl your way up here to the 236 and then it just explode through this level. Maybe you'll work your way, slowly but sure, or not slowly, hopefully not slowly, but at a decent rate up here, and then you'll really take off. I don't know. But this area, I do believe that breaking that area, whatever that is there, that's 2.18 cents. I think that'll be a crucial area for Digibyte to break. Looking at the monthly RSI, I'm not really getting a whole lot from it. The weekly RSI looks weak, but set up to be strong and resilient. I will say resilient. Not even getting oversold is a nice look, right? Just like here, you couldn't even get overbought, right? That resulted in a lower move down and time, right? But inevitably, you did move up. Of course, you held your 50. But here, you're not getting oversold, right? And you haven't really had a move up. So I think you will get a move up, and I think that this won't turn around like this one did, right? I think it'll actually just keep going up. Short term, you want to get above 0.92 cents. More like intermediate term after that, you want to get up above it's like 2.18 cents, something like that. And once you're above this area here, then it's on. So looking productive on the weekly. Looking like you want to move up on the daily, yes. And the 4-hour looks good, so I think you are going to move up day by day, week by week, yes. Still hope for new all-time highs. New all-time highs. Still hope. Just maybe not in the multi-dollar range, right? Still crazy gains, but not as crazy as they could have been. Mana. Mana's chilling, and this is another one, right? I had a $100 price target for Mana by the end of the cycle. And I think it still could achieve that, but I'll tell you what, getting a new low, and I hold a lot of Mana. This is one of my main holds, actually, in my portfolio. This is like my 3rd or 4th biggest holding, I think. Maybe my 5th, but somewhere maybe it's my 4th. I don't know. I'd have to go over things, but anyways, it's a significant part of my portfolio is the main point, and it found a recent low here. Again, a lot of lows came in across the board for the crypto markets back here. But Mana has still found new lows even this far into the bull. This is a bull market, right? The rest of the crypto market, predominantly a lot of the crypto market has seen a bull market, while this thing's just moved down and up and down, right? Not a whole lot going on. So it is possible for it to move up in a very short amount of time as well. right? I mean, this right here, that was 17,000% in that amount of time. We do that same kind of idea, you know. That would be by August of next year. That's literally a year out from now. Just this move, let alone what persisted afterwards. But we got to, we got to start getting going soon. That's what I like about Mana and Digibyte and some other charts that kind of look like this. They might look forlorn, but really, and I think that's the right word to use, but really they're bullish with higher lows and higher highs, and really their behavior is super strong toward the end of the cycle, not in the beginning. A lot of cryptos see these gains over the whole cycle, where Mana just needs that last little part of it. So I'm not worried about Mana, but it needs to start going, right? And this look, to me, this far into the cycle, doesn't get me as excited for the idea that we could go up to $100. I know I've been calling for that for a little while, but it doesn't get me as excited. This low happened in March of 2020. We had our halving happen in May of 2020. So this was before, right? This was well before the halving, where this is well after the halving. So I don't believe we're going to see this insane growth that we saw last cycle, but I still believe we can see insane growth like to $14, maybe even $42, but $100 might not happen. Okay, it might not happen. And in fact, what was that? I don't think it's going to be just like this, right? I'm not taking the whole high. I'm just taking this first peak here just to get a reference. What would that put us at? Right at the 1618. I mean, yeah, $42, that's a goal to strive for. We're at 27.9 cents now. So definitely solid gains. Definitely solid gains to be had, even at a minimum, right? Even at its, well, that's not at its current price. At its current price, even at a 1272, that's still a 49.50x, right? That's not anything to be ashamed of. But Mana on a weekly basis, RSI, same thing as Digibyte, looking resilient. I like the resistance to the oversold zone that you're showing. It's actually a pretty constructive and overall bullish looking RSI. You're in the weaker zones right now. Like this part doesn't look so good, right? But overall, I like what I'm seeing with this, right? Higher lows, higher highs. You look like you're in this like very long-term kind of uptrend channel, and you're at the basis. You're at the point right now where, based on like this zone over here, this zone over here, it looks like you're going to have your next move up. And let's hope that this next move isn't short-lived like this, barely in the overbought zone like these ones are. Let's hope that you reside in the overbought zone like this, right? Like this a little bit, right? But that's where you got all these big moves, right? You got into the overbought zone here, but the majority of that move happened as you resided in the overbought zone, not in and then boring and then out, right? So let's hope this next move up, you live in there for a second, and that will not only send us back to these highs, which again, I think we're going there right now. I think this is going to happen in a very, very short amount of time. Like we're going to, I very much do believe Mana will be above these highs. It'll be breaking out of this accumulation phase it's been in all cycle and since the bear cycle, right? I do believe it's going to happen by the end of this year. It's at 27.9 cents. I'm calling for prices that are probably going to be above $1, maybe even above $2, genuinely, by the end of this year. If we take the high to the low of this move, not the low of the overall consolidation, but just the low of this move. 618 is at $1.85, 69 is at $2.30. So genuinely, you could break $2. And this is at your 382, an area that you held resistance. Maybe I should bring it down to this. I don't know, because this might all be part of the same move, debatably. And that fits the 382 better, actually. So let's go with that. In which case, $1.76, $2.21, whatever. But I don't believe that this next time that we interact with the resistance zone that we've had resistance on the last two times, I don't believe it's going to reject us this time. I do think it'll break through, something that's that significant to break through. You'll see a move like this that's more sustained, right? Stuff like this. It's going to happen, and it's coming. And I think we're going to get the first phase of this by the end of this year. That doesn't mean that this is where I think it's going to end, where the cycle is over. That's just kind of a target area by the end of the year, if not higher, right? But certainly prices that are above $1. So Mana, while it's at prices below 30 cents, this is actually a phenomenal time to get in. Man, Mana might be a winner, right? Because 30 cents to $2 is not quite a 10x, but it's still nice, especially in that short of an amount of time. Anyways, Mana, yeah, waiting for it to move up. That's really the best that I can say. Looks bullish, or looks like it's set up to be bullish and move up on the daily. As long as you can get above here. Right, you don't want to find, you're finding resistance now, but you're not rejecting. You're testing the waters and not really rejecting. So get above 29 cents, stay above there, continue to move up. I don't have any worries about it. Chain link here. Reminds me of Mana, like just the daily RSI setup and the price action in itself. A lot of crypto looks like this right now, actually. And that happens. You know, Chainlink took a dive. It fell off a cliff. It really did. But it went back to areas of resistance in its breakout, right? Like, you know how Mana, it's in this right now, right? It just had its lower low, okay? Right? And then it went up. It had this phenomenal break. Whenever it broke this, it was phenomenal, right? It came back, but it's about to have its next leg up too, I think. And the fact that this one broke and it came back down to test support at the breaking area, I'm very confident it does continue higher, especially with that reaction it's having. Come on now, high to low. The next target area would literally be just like this line's depicting right here at about $32 to $41, somewhere in that range. 32 to 41, yeah, that's the range you're up to next. Okay, and then we'll see if by the end of this cycle, I would think so. By the end of the year, I think that's where you're going. By the end of the cycle, we'll talk about $100 to 220. Yes, $100 to $220 by the end of the cycle. Absolutely, I think that's possible. For Chainlink, absolutely, I think that's possible. This is a very bullish looking chart. Very well behaved, well mannered. It's so respectful. Just accumulated for a long time. Great breakout, follow through, volume, and everything. Consolidated back to the point to test this breakout point for support. It's just showing strength, and it's holding its 123 weekly moving average right here. An area that it found support on, then it found a little resistance on, came down. We don't have more history than that, but I mean, I don't know. I think it looks good. Link, yes. Next target area, what was it? It was like 32 to 41, something like that. Somewhere in that zone. XLM, Stellar Lumens. I don't mind the weekly. I actually like this. Rejection off the 50, but then you bounce right in this area. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Kind of reminds me of XRP, and that makes sense, right? They have this like similar channel upwards, and then now they're in this like little downward channel, whatever. And I think XRP is going to move up, so I think Stellar will move up as well. I feel like I should draw the fib from here. Yeah, that looks to be somewhat regarded. XLM's so weird, man, because it can take off all at once, or it can work its way up there slowly and then take off, right? Like it's hard to call. Maybe I don't want to look at this fib. I don't know what that was about, but there we go. 2021 high in May to the low in 2022. Holding the 069. Next target area really that you want to see would be the 236 at about 12.46 cents. But you want to break 17.777 cents. You want to break this. When you break that, odds are you're going to your 31.5 to 37.5 cent area. And that you're at 9 cents, 10 cents right now, so that might be a goal by the end of this year. I certainly would think that you break above this yellow line. You're at least above the yellow line, around the screen line, if not in this zone by the end of the year. So anywhere from like 23 to 37 cents would be my thoughts on XLM. Looking at the daily, yeah, the daily looks great. It looks like it wants to move up. Weekly looks geared to move up, so that's nice to see that in correlation with the daily. You are hugging this green line, right? I think you're about to break through it. You don't show respect on it all the time, but sometimes. Enough for me to be convinced that what you're doing right now is bullish behavior. I think you are about to move up. And the RSI looks great. 4 hour looks good too. Yeah, it all looks good. So up. What do you have to look forward to in the more immediate terms? I mean, probably this red line. I mean, let's actually take a relative fib here on this double bottom. High to low. It's kind of like an Adam and Eve. I wonder if it looks like that on a 4 hour more so. It's like an Adam and Adam, or an Eve and Adam. Yeah, it's like an Eve and Adam, which is actually more bullish. Look at that, 1272 right on the 236. You can't make this stuff up, man. So next target area really is 12.5 cents. You're at about 10 cents now. So that'll come over the days, over the weeks, probably by the end of this month, probably, I would think. If not by the end of this month, certainly sometime in September. And we've got higher price targets in mind, don't forget, by the end of the year. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so let's move on from here and finish this up. VAIOT. I still don't know how to pronounce it, so I'm not going to. Oh yeah, it's VAI. Um, we'll go on KuCoin. Is that the best one? MEXC? KuCoin. We're going to use KuCoin. And on a weekly basis, very weak RSI. I don't like it. I don't. I really don't like it, actually. I don't mind the price action. Okay, okay. Actually, I'm starting to like it. Okay, I like the RSI because you got a high here or a low here. I'm sorry. Lower low. Definitely a lower low, right? And then, oh no. Huh, for some reason, I thought this was a higher low. It's a higher low than this. Never mind. The good thing that I was about to say is actually it's just more confirmation of the bad, not the good. So never mind. My bad. Sorry. Low to high. Okay. This is good. This is good. So you wrestled with your 618 a little bit here, right? Showing that you didn't break through it. Yeah, it's not even on the second attempt, right? One attempt, couldn't do it. Second attempt, couldn't do it. Third attempt, you did it, checked it back a few times. You didn't even want to get away from it. Then you dipped into this land of the 786, 886. That's a perfect low. If it's not the low, I wouldn't think you go too much lower. Like really, that would be your lower zone. You might come down and form a higher low. You might have already done that. You might come a little bit lower, like whatever. But comfortable with the idea of this being a low. I don't like your daily RSI. I don't like your weekly RSI. So you do not have to move up right now. You're still in a downtrend. And until you change that trend, I don't know if it's worth really guessing if it's time to go or not, right? Because all you have right now are lower highs and lower lows. So, I mean, really, this next move up could just be here to about 9.5 cents and then down to a lower low. And then that's your actual low. And then we could talk about you moving up, but it's going to be about a month from now or at least half a month from now, right? So hard to make that call, but I would say when you do finally take out this trend, both on like a resistance line kind of status like this, something like this probably. Maybe would it be a little bit more like this? I don't know. Like whatever's best fit. I feel like that's pretty good. I like that a little more than the first one, but whatever it is, whether you get above this, which is at about 8.9, let's just call it 9 cents if you get above there, or you take out this actual high, this most relative high here at 10.77 cents. I would stick to that a little bit more. That'd be a little bit more concise, I think. Getting above there would validate the idea that this is the low and that you're changing the trend and you're moving up. That also lines up just above your 236. That's nice. Yeah. Generally, whenever you do get above this 236, that's when you can expect to see the 382, and then that's when you really prove that this is your low or not, depending on how you act, whatever it is that you do at that point. Rejected the 236 there. That's not common, man. Couldn't even pull up. You've been very weak, and your RSI shows that too. So we're just looking for strength. I'm comfortable with the idea that this is the low, but you got to show us something different that you haven't shown us since March of this year. And I feel comfortable enough saying that it could be. It could be this time. This could be the low. And especially when you zoom out on a macro scale, it makes sense, right? But don't be upset if you go lower. Right? It's okay if you do. No, but that's a nice area to find a low, I think, man. If you were to go lower, the lowest I'd give you is 5.555. 5.55, sorry. Cents. Yeah, I think the winner, undeniably, would be Mana in this one. I think Mana is the winner. I think it'll move up in the shortest amount of time. Digibyte could be the winner as well. I'm a little bit more hesitant with Digibyte, to be fair. Let's just see. Yeah, I think Mana is the winner. Mana is the winner for now. Yeah. So whoever had Mana, good job. Anyways, guys, that's the video. That's all I got. Out of these 5, which one would I want to buy the most? Probably Mana would be the one that I think will stand to gain the most in the shortest amount of time. I do think they all look like they want to start moving up. Some of them more soon than others, some of them more than others, but they're all looking pretty good. So even if VAI hasn't found its low, it's very near it. It is looking good. So that's all I got to say. Hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.